Hi, welcome to the Linux channel. So I got a quick update before I start or get to the topic. I may likely join a company as a full time, as a very senior position. I'm kind of looking for even guys who can work under me. I've been doing some a few interviews, and that's a different job profile, so that's fine. But at the same point, I'm also looking for core networking folks who are into network software development, done work in user space, kernel space, and stuff like that, and of course core system software development, protocols and stuff. So uh, I'm kind of looking somebody who is around 3 to 5 or 7 years experienced. I'm not looking for more seniors at this point of time. In case if you are interested, of course you can forward your resume or profile, whatever it is. And like I always say, my interview process is going to be very very different than what they do in the industry, because I want somebody who work on the stuff. I don't want to test his none of the skills and waste their time and my time as well, asking some random useless, do you know how to delete a node, or do this in a pointer and stuff like that. So I'm going to be handling this in a complete different manner when it comes to a developer position. So you can send that, let me see, and I can shortlist, and after that I can give some assignments, and then you can see what extent you can do. You can refer internet, do whatever you want, and you can get me the result. In case if somebody is shortlisted and if I start you know um, processing their profile. Okay, so anyway, feel free, you can send it across, and I'm only looking for a developer position. Even a person who have little bit of know-how in kernel network software development is preferred, and even there's a loop where I may even I'm in a process of even getting one of my student also joining with me. But anyway, let's keep that aside and get to the topic. See, I do get several mails, somebody who is mentioning that they are in some developer position, they are doing some maintenance work, bug fixing and stuff, and they are working this role for more than 5 years or 8 years or 10 years in a company, and they are looking for a change. And also I do get also mails, somebody who is working in support, testing and stuff like that, which is like a semi technical job. I'm not saying full customer support like some sort of call center like stuff. I'm saying somebody who is into technical support, and if not technical support, they are into some they are into testing and stuff. So this is what I want to exclude this crowd. If you are struck with that, perhaps you need to continue that. Getting into a core technical position, I mean core developer position, is going to be very hard, because you will be grilled, and then you need to be on par with anybody of that experience. Let's imagine you have around 6 years or 8 years of experience in the same role, and if I take you as a developer, okay, I can't take you as a 8 years industry experienced guy. Okay, I can take you more or less like a fresher, or maybe a guy who is around 2+ years experience. So you need to compromise a lot, and that is what happens. So it is very difficult. Even if you go ahead and search anywhere in the industry, it is very difficult to switch the role once you are stagnant for such a long duration. See, we are not talking about 6 months you've been in that role or something. Even I've been a admin for few months, that's fine, but it's not few years. Okay, if you are struck for few years as doing this role, then you need to continue that. It's going to be very hard getting into anything else. And if you are ready to sacrifice, maybe there are some chances. But who is ready to sacrifice, and they say that okay, I've been working for several years and I do expect some salary, and I have some family commitments, so I'm sorry, that won't work out. Okay, so if you are coming as a developer, you never did any professional large projects, so you will have a very tough time to get into anything. And how I can treat you, whether how anybody can treat you, whether you are a 6 years in the industry, or whether you are starting your development position, but you've been something else in the industry, it's going to mess up. Okay, anyway, back to the topic about the developers. Mentioning that they are into this support, and they are into this bug fixing, and any such sort of workflow. Okay, so they are already recruited as a software engineer, but they are struck with this kind of a workflow. So if you are somebody like that, and the mail what they generally say is, I'm doing like this, and I'm looking for any core development work where I can work on some fresh new project, and where we have the entire software development life cycle. You have this architecture, or you have this design phase, and then you have this development or coding phase, and then you do this unit testing as a developer, and then you release, and then you continue this cycle. So the issue with your career, or your this thing is, if you find a company which is if you find a job, if you are working in some company, and if you are struck with this kind of a position, or with this kind of a workflow or commitment, there is a time you can request for a change. It can be you can do this work for a few months, or maybe just a couple of years. But if you are settling down for more than 3 years, or if you are settling down even more than 2 years, and 5 years and 10 years is pretty long duration. So if you have been stuck in this for 5 long years, no matter how good the pay they give, you no longer suited in this working in any exciting projects, is what I can conclude. Okay, the thing is, when you think about doing anything fresh, you need to do a lot of innovation. You need to come up with any architecting stuff. Of course, I do understand these are done by the senior guys, the architects and stuff like that. May not be it may not be meant for a somebody who is around 5 years or even 6 years, but there are also exceptions. When I was working in Komodo, I got hardly some 3 years or something industry experience, or 2+ something like that, but I was anyway doing this HLD and some FRS and stuff like that. So I was doing somewhat of an architecture and stuff. Again, it depends on the role you get. It depends on the project you get, and your higher ups and your own talent. Okay, if you are talented enough, of course you will get something. If you are not talented enough, why somebody should give that responsibility on your head? So I'm not saying talent in the sense marks or something. So there are some who have the caliber to invent new things, who can do innovation and stuff. There are guys who can't do that. Actually, they may do good coding. Okay, that's fine. Who does the innovation part? Okay, coding, anybody finally you learn, and anyone does. Okay, that's again I'm saying where we can find somebody who can do innovation as well. So there are various things are there. When you have a team, there are bunch of guys who are, there are a couple of guys who are good with experimenting stuff. They are comfortable with experimenting and doing some stuff like that. They don't mind taking any risks and innovating stuff in that process. There are also guys who likes this mundane work of you give me something and then I can do this code, I can do this libraries and modules and do some porting, integration, whatever. So there are guys who can be comfortable with that. Okay, so it again depends. It's not about they are not giving. Also it depends on your talent, and maybe your higher ups may see that your potential is this, and you may get that work actually. But when it comes to this stagnation in bug fixing, maintenance, I do often see people go to a very large company and they do this kind of donkey work actually. See, you are hired for something, and then of course you will be paid on par with whatever it is. You are doing this kind of a crappy work, but once you continue for a decade or something, you are as good as anybody else, and you are very easy to replace. And if they find, okay, why should we pay so much money for a more senior person, this kind of a work can be pushed to a junior person and we can save the money, it is perfectly fine. The top management have to do that budgeting and stuff. See, when I said I'm looking for guys, why not I hire around 10 plus or 15 plus? We don't have the budget. Okay, even I'm not interested at this point of time, because I want to go slow and I want to mentor them as much as possible. I have to do I have to get them understand the workflow and the optimization I do in my projects. See, currently single handedly I am taking up a lot of work which nobody can believe that I have done from scratch. So these are the things which one have to learn from me. If I take somebody who is 10 years or 15 years, the problem is he got in the industry, let it be any large company, he was into that kind of a crappy process, and he will tell that okay, this is what that company does, this is what the industry does and stuff. So I just don't want somebody who is inflexible and been in the industry for a long time where I can't mold him anymore. So he is very rigid and he says that this is how we did, we used some Jenkins, we used some crap, and we did this, and so I'm going to do that sort of. So I don't want him actually. So what I'm looking for is, I want a very optimal workflow the way I do. I have a secret sauce and I need somebody who is young and flexible, who can get molded into this kind of efficiency. Okay, so that's why I'm saying. So again, I'm saying, if even you think like you have got stagnated doing this kind of bug fixing role, how you can cope up if I tell you to architect something? Where is that your thought process will change. Okay, either you have done any innovation or some new stuff at home. Have you done any hobby projects at home? Nothing. Okay, so far whatever you did is what is written on your resume as a part of your career. So end of the day, all one can consider is your maintenance thing, whatever you have done. So sometimes if somebody recruits after recruiting, again they will find it is embarrassing, they can't push anything new stuff, and the person will say that okay, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to go about the design phase and stuff. So this is the this is the mess you need to go through. So if you are stuck something like that, just don't go with this pay and stuff and ruin your career. You will be a hot resource for a certain brief period of time. See, if your overall experience, if anybody's overall experience, I'm saying typically systems and developers of that age category, if you are around 5+ experienced in the industry, it's very easy to get a job. Okay, if you are 6-7+, it is somewhat easy to get a job. Once you are 10+ and stuff like that, somebody will scrutinize and they expect you a lot, some extent. But once you are around 15 years and you say that you have done this kind of maintenance work and you now lead a team, and okay, let's imagine I hire even such a manager. The problem with that manager is he knows how to do this donkey work, day to day mundane donkey work. He can't come up with, I'm saying that boss, you architect this and you do this, and we need a requirement and we need a solution which should do something like that. The problem is the manager is not capable, and how we can drive a team where they are supposed to innovate and architect, and they are supposed to do a solution. I mean, they are supposed to come up with a solution as a part of the product offering. So that person will not be capable at all. So this is the issue. The moment you get into that cycle and you get carried away, the max you should work in such kind of positions or the workflow is not more than 1-2 years. Okay, 2 years is already long. Once you work there for 3 years, now you are habituated. Now if you are working for 5 years, it's just you are habituated, and you are so easy to replace resource. It becomes somebody will even may hire you, and they may find that you are not capable of doing any interesting stuff, and they need to think other options. It becomes so, again you will become a target when they need to look for any replacement and stuff like that. So again, even if some company hires you which they have this innovative work, but by the way they see your productivity, they may end up pushing all this maintenance work, may not give you the exciting work. So again you will be getting this sort of disappointment. Again, that's why I'm saying, if you are somewhat struck like that, just take an initiative, just try to compromise. I'm seeing one disease in the industry is if you get, say for example, a specific amount of CTC, if you are getting a very good opportunity, very good job and a very exciting project, sometimes you need to have a common sense you can even get the same CTC, or even 5% hike is fine. Okay, you need to think of a long term career prospect rather than doing the same shitty work. Actually, you just need to think that. I don't see this issue with any of this this job going people. Okay, the reason I'm saying is, when we do business, I have done business, as you know. When we do business, you should understand, there may be a product you may be selling. Let's imagine a apples or something you sell right now around a price, and then next week prices may fall down. Let's take the tomatoes or onions in India. So usually the prices will fluctuate. Now currently onions are being sold for $30 or something like that, on average 30-35 bucks. Earlier it was around 5 kilos per 100. Even some guys even sell 5 kilos per 100 even at this point. So the prices will fluctuate. Whenever it increases, it becomes 60 bucks, 70 bucks, and then again it comes back to 40 bucks and stuff. So it kind of changes. The same commodity, it changes. Okay, same way you should know the art of negotiation. You should know the art of compromise. That nobody does. They just see that, okay, this is my pay now, I want something a huge jump in my pay scale and stuff, which I don't deny that. See, everybody thinks about it, but again I'm saying you need to have this common sense. Either you settle down with this kind of donkey work where they may pay you sometimes well, and depends on the product companies you work. Sometimes a product company may hire you, even a small minuscule job, so they may pay you well than a services firm. But over the period of time, after some time, what happens is you no longer have that any desirable skills for that many years of experienced guy. So if I take anybody who is 10 years of experience, I want to relieve some of the headache of how we can come up with an architecture. It is his responsibility to come up with some innovative way to solve. It may not be perfect, but he can do that, and he can come and ask me where I can give my consent, or I can give some add-on stuff. So I'm saying, the same thing happens even if you work anywhere else also. So if you are around 10 or 12 plus, people do expect a lot of commitment. It's just not work. It's just a lot of proactiveness from you. So if you don't have that sort of conditioning, okay, if you don't have such conditioning because you are stuck with this routine job and you never thought of changing, and maybe someone is not paying well, so you never got that job, or anything, it can be any reason, or maybe you thought later I can do a job change and you never did that. So if you are stuck like that, then it will be difficult. So perhaps after watching this video, take some initiative. If you are around stuck for 5 years, you can almost as well forget it. It's kind of very late. If you are around just struck recently, you feel you have a better caliber, but this current work is not doing a justice. Okay, just take an initiative. Either you can ask the existing company to give a different work flow, or team, or whatever it is. Okay, a different team with a different workflow. If that doesn't work, then perhaps you need to search elsewhere and put papers. That's all is the thing I can recommend. But if you are very stagnant, trust me, after 10 years you are going to be a disposable resource, and it is as similar to anybody who is working in this kind of role. You won't have any niche skills. Why one should pay you according to 12 years of industry experience or 15 years of industry experience? Even though you are 15 years of industry experience, your same work can be done by anybody who is around 8 years of industry experience. So this is what industry sees, and end of the day, the budget, it matters. Why somebody should pay so much, and take that risk. Okay, the business is all about how much we spend for the salaries, electricity, infrastructure, whatever it is. After that, what is the product we sell, and you need to recover the expenses through that, the core business actually. So I think the power went off. Anyway, let me conclude this video. So hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have anything to discuss, be in touch via mail, and as I say, I'm looking for guys. You can just send your resume. At this point of time, I have not yet joined, and I'm working as consultant, so I can't reveal the company name. But anyway, you can send your profiles. I'm again looking for very dynamic, very proactive, and guys who have real hands-on skills rather than having pointer in C and all this bullshit what industry expects. So I want somebody who work on real stuff. So I have my way of testing your skills. So let's see how it goes. Okay, thanks a lot for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.